Good morning. Here we go. It's Friday here on Undisputed, and I always wear all black on Friday. And I always wear the chain that my friend Lil Wayne gave me. So today, it is GOAT on top of GOAT. As you can see, it's Wayne on top of Jordan. And maybe today is the day on Undisputed that I finally convince my man, Shannon Sharp, that his man, LeBron James, will never, ever be Michael Jeffrey Jordan. So I say good morning and good luck to my man, Shannon Sharp. How are you?
I'm doing well, and you always lose because Skip, know what happened is that you picked the wrong side to stand on. You got the Cowboys, you got a 43-year-old Tom Brady, and you took the second best player of all time. How can you win those arguments?
That sounds like a whole swimming pool of Diet Mountain Dew. So we are about to catch fire here over the next 2 hours on this show as Shannon and I get into it over LeBron's latest tweet, shake my head, and Mike Leach's deleted tweet, shake my head over that one, and over why Shannon still believes that Tua is a better bet than Joe Burrow. I don't know about that one. And over Fox Bet, setting the over-under on Cowboy wins for next year at 9.5, only 9.5. And finally, we'll wrap it up today with Tom Brady doing something he never would have done under the Bill Belichick rule, the iron hand of Belichick, and that's doing the Howard Stern show next week. We'll talk about that. But first up, here on Undisputed on this Friday, this is a Dallas Cowboys stunner for me. This is Dez Bryant, the ex-Cowboy, tweeting this. Dak and myself just finished a great workout session. Picked up where we left off. Last time I checked, where they left off was a 2017 in which they weren't very good together. And that's the last time Dez Bryant played in an NFL football game. And Dez also posted a picture of himself and Dak and a couple of other receivers at the workout with their arms all draped around each other. We'll get to that in just a second. But Shannon, I'm going to let you go first on this as always. What do you make of all this?
You talking about the photo? Or let's start with the photo first, Skip. Skip, why is it so hard?
All of the above. Yes.
Skip, they watch TV. They see where this thing is heading, and they still. So I just want people to understand, and I hope nothing, they don't contract this virus and get ill, but you're putting yourself in harm's way, and you keep doing it. It's okay. If you want to work out with the guy, just don't do that because it shows that you have a blatant disregard for what's going on in our country. Skip. Dez tweeted that photo out and we picked right up where we left off. Skip, let me refresh people how they left off. Skip, did you know Dak's last year with Dez was his worst in terms of completion percentage, yards per attempt, and interception. And it was his second lowest QBR ever. That's picking up right where they left off. A lot of Dak's interception was because Dez was not getting separation, and he was forcing the ball to Dez because that's what Dez had to become accustomed to with Tony Romo. Because he wasn't technically sound, he couldn't get in and out of breaks, Skip. Just throw it up and I'll make a play for you. Well, in the process of doing that, Dak was putting the ball in harm's way, and it was getting intercepted, and everybody was looking at Dak crazy. Well, this is what Jason Garrett says. This is how Dez made his bones in the NFL. This is what I'm going to continue to do. Now, Skip, the guru, Will McClay, who's done the lion's share of the drafting, who's put this team together, this is what he said when they released Dez Bryant and the reason for why they released Dez Bryant. He said it was his inability to win one-on-one and consistently win downfield. There were some other inconsistencies in his game. We felt best moving forward, it was to be without Dez Bryant. That's what Will McClay said 2 years ago and before the Achilles injury. So let me process this. Let me try to visualize this. Dez has never been a burner. Dez has never been technically sound as far as route running. When we think of route running, we don't think of Dez Bryant. So 2 years, not a route runner, Achilles injury, and now he's going to come back. And he's talking about playing the role that Randall Cobb. Skip, the things that separates the top 3 receivers, I like Julio, some people like Mike Thomas, some people like DeAndre Hopkins. They move left, right, slot, motion. When have you ever known Dez Bryant to play mainly the slot? Because that's what Randall Cobb did. Because that's the role he wants to fulfill. What has happened, Skip, is that Dez says, Jerry, you gave Jason Witten an opportunity to come back after being away. Give me that same opportunity. That's what this is about, Skip. See, Dez could not process. Dez could not, Skip, his heart was broken when the Cowboys moved on. That's why he turned down that 3 years, $21 million from the Ravens, because he could not get out of his mind. It was like, if I'm not in this blue and silver, if I don't have 88 and the star on my helmet, Skip, I'm not Dez. I'm nothing. And now he wants to come back. Skip, I wish him well. I just don't think it's going to turn out well for him or the Cowboys.
Unfortunately, you make way too many good points, but I'm going to refute your final takeaway. But before I get to that, Mr. Sharp, I need to echo your sentiments about said posted picture. We talked about one yesterday on the show posted by Lamar Jackson with Antonio Brown, Marquise Brown, the cousins, the workout in Miami. I just cringe and I wince when I see these pictures posted, the Dak Dez picture. And again, echoing all of your sentiments from the bottom of my heart. Feels like this country's at war right now with a runaway virus, a disease. And I just wish our athletes, our superstars, could set a better example by not posting these pictures. Everybody's under stay-at-home orders. Everybody's trying to do their part to defeat this runaway virus. And here we are having to open our show on a Friday on Undisputed, asking athletes to please stay home and stay out of posting pictures after workouts in which you're throwing sweaty footballs, catching sweaty footballs. Again, I'm sure it's going on behind closed doors everywhere. I'm not even going to doubt that Tom Brady is somewhere right now throwing passes to Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, but they're not going to post about it because they're going to do it in their own confines, behind closed doors, and maybe there's a way to do that safely. But Shannon, to your point, you're sending such a bad message to everybody who's trying to do their part as an American to stop the spread of this virus in America. And they need to look no further at the invincible athletes who started the dominoes falling. Rudy Gobert, I will always remember now as the first sort of victim of coronavirus, right? And he scoffed at it. Remember, he did the press conference where he was laughing at even the possibility of this virus spreading, and he's touching all the reporters' microphones and making a joke out of it. And he looked about as bad as you could ever look. And then obviously it's Donovan Mitchell, his teammate. Then it's Kevin Durant getting the virus. And then it's Sean Payton and on and on. So I just ask our athletes, if you need to work out in privacy and secrecy, that's fine. Just don't post it. It's just a bad look. Okay, so we got that off our chests. We're both at home today doing the show, and we don't want to be at home. We'd much rather be, I'm about a 2-minute drive from the Fox studios. I'd rather be there right now, and I miss it dearly, and maybe sometime sooner than later we'll be back there if everybody will do their part. But now back to Dez Bryant. Shannon, I still believe, as crazy as it sounds, there could be some place for Dez to return to the Cowboys in a very limited role, in, dare I say, a humbled role, even after 2 years and an Achilles tear that cost him his shot with Sean Payton in New Orleans and Drew Brees, because they signed him 9 games into that season after he was cut. And you know what happened? 2 practices in, he tears his Achilles tendon. So I still believe Dez loves Dallas enough that if he would take another one of those bargain basement deals, that Jerry loves him enough. And apparently, I didn't know Dak even liked him. This was a big message sent from Dak Prescott, and he knows full well what will happen if you post a picture like this. He knew Dez was going to post it, that the message will be sent to Cowboy Nation. I'm still good with him. So could Dez come back and at least play a quasi Jason Witten role as the 3rd and 3 receiver, or the red zone receiver, the 3rd and goal from the 4 receiver, who might be able, with his big body, just to bounce somebody off like Jason used to do, sort of shield somebody off, wall somebody off, and make a big catch for 3 or 4 yards that would give you a first down or a touchdown. That's all I'm looking at here. And it seems like Jerry and Stephen Jones, and even now Dak Prescott, are open to that. What do you think of that role?
Skip, I remember his last year there in Dallas. You said, I am ready for this to end. I'm done with Dez Bryant. He was my favorite player. I used to throw up the X, but I am done with Dez. He can't run. Dak throws the ball to him. It's getting picked off. We saw the hot Skip. You remember what happened in Denver? 102 yards by Keith Talib the other way. You remember what happened in Seattle? You remember it was time after time after time. Normally when Dak threw the ball to Dez, bad things normally happen. It's hard for me to believe, having played this game, and I like